in from Mexico because he had some medical problems and couldn't be here. I hope you're okay. Um, it's Israel Rodriguez Nava. He's the president of the Mexican
Hello, can you hear me now?
and he's going to talk almost about the culture of Go. I'll just leave it at that. So, okay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hey.
Well, good morning. My name is Israel Rodriguez. I am president of the Mexican Go Association and treasurer of the Ibero-American Go Federation, which groups 13 Latin American countries and Spain. Before I start, I would like to thank the organizers of this symposium for the opportunity to participate, and I deeply regret not being able to be here to be with you right now. My presentation is called Cultural Considerations in the Spread of Go in Western Countries. Now, I would like to narrow the scope of this presentation, as I know its title is perhaps a little bit too general. In this talk, I will present some general reflections on common issues I find important to consider in the spread of Go in our countries. Of course, each country has its peculiarities that would require an independent research, but certainly there are several common factors that can contribute valuable findings in order to raise awareness of Go in our respective countries. I will begin with a brief assessment of Go's historical development. Later, I will review some theories of the slow diffusion in the West, and finally, I will discuss some of the difficulties facing the spread of the game in today's world. Now, I think everyone here, or should I say there, knows very well that Go is the best game ever created. However, in most Western countries, Go remains widely unknown. It is a common scene that while playing in public, people look curiously at the board and ask us, what game is this? How is it played? But especially, is it like chess? If we review the available statistics, the number of people who know chess is huge. According to the Chess in the Olympics campaign, 605 million people worldwide know how to play chess. 285 million of them play on the internet, and 7.5 million are formally registered in an association. Go, on the other hand, is said to have an estimated 25 million players worldwide. Of course, these statistics are problematic, to say the least, as they do not provide information on the methodology with which they were obtained. It appears that those numbers are more a product of speculation than a properly conducted study. As a matter of fact, chess statistics were strongly criticized within the chess community for its lack of intellectual rigor. However, even if these figures are only an speculation or even if they have other agendas, nobody can deny that in the West pretty much every single person knows of chess, and not much fewer know the rules even if they do not play regularly. This is easy to understand because chess is part of Western cultural imaginary as the quintessential intellectual game. Let's look more closely at the statistics for Go. According to some figures, from those 25 million, 24 million or 96% of the players are from Asia, and only 1 million or 4% are Western players. To be honest, I don't think these figures will surprise anyone. One of the most common explanations attribute this inequality to the late arrival of Go in the West. However, according to historical evidence, the first description of Go to reach the West dates from 1615, from the reports of the travels of Jesuit missionary Matteo Ricci. However, this description did not contain enough information to play. This description and several that were based on it actually did generate interest in important intellectuals such as Leibniz, who tried to decipher the purpose and rules of the game based on the available descriptions. However, it was not until 250 years later, in 1875, that British sinologist Herbert Giles published the first complete description of the rules available in the West. In that very description, he offers us an explanation for this delay in the spread of Go in the West. If anything, he says, it was meant that the sole means of communication being the Chinese language, too great difficulty would be experienced by the teacher in making the intricacies of the game sufficiently clear to the learner. For inasmuch as only educated men know Wei Qi, and no educated man can speak a word of English. The alternative would be a pidgin English speaking servant, and then it would be necessary first to make him understand the principles he was undertaking to explain. By then, chess was already widely known and widely positioned as the ultimate intellectual game, because from the mid 17th century it had begun to spread outside the noble classes in Europe. Considering this, Go has been known in the West, with its rules I mean, for over 130 years. However, the growth of the players is still low compared to the development of chess or other similar games. Another explanation for this has focused on the qualities of Go, which they consider a game that reflects Eastern strategic and philosophical thought, which